Well, hello to, I don't know, January 2026, week one. This is the psychonutrition support for this week. So if you're watching, I want to be very clear about something before we begin. Okay. I want you to understand that this is not about diet rules. Um, it's not about getting into a space of food perfection. And I definitely want you to know that this is not about adding something new for you to manage in your life. Okay. So what I want you to understand is that this is more about you understanding how your body quietly influences your emotional stability. Okay. So whether you're aware of it or not, and I know some of you are, and I know of some of you, this is new too. So, I mean, we're going to have an array of people. So I also want you to understand that this is general, and not for you specific. So that doesn't mean don't listen, don't take it to heart, don't start observing. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we are all unique individual beings. And so we all have our own unique code and relationship and things that we need to look at. So if you ever at any time want to dive in deeper, or you're struggling with something, or something just doesn't feel right, you can always go over to the website and grab some time on my calendar. Okay. So anyway, what I want you to understand is that regardless of your awareness level, your body, right, is signaling to your emotional state of being. Okay. So if we're asking you to build precision in how you respond, your body needs to support that effort. Okay. So this week one, January 2026, right? You know me, I'm not big on, New Year's, new resolutions, etc. But we are starting a new year here in the Insight and Impact Focus Group. So this is week one, and it's about identifying stability disruptors. Okay. So today we're naming one of the most common and probably one of the most misunderstood. And that is blood sugar variability. Okay. So when people talk about emotion or emotional regulation, they often focus on thoughts. Okay. But emotional volatility doesn't always start here. Right. In fact, for those of you who've been around me for a while, we all know that 9 out of 10 signals go body to mind, not mind to body. So even if I say sometimes it starts in the body, I'm going to say a lot of the time it starts in the body, right? That emotional volatility most of the time starts in the body, specifically in how consistently your body is fueled. So let me give you a real simple non-clinical explanation. Okay. Ready? When blood sugar rises and falls rapidly, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? Your nervous system interprets that as stress. None of us want that, right? Stress narrows your emotional bandwidth. Okay. So you may notice quicker irritability, less patience, difficulty concentrating, stronger emotional reactions, a shorter fuse when things don't go as planned. None of that means that you're emotionally unskilled. It means that your system is under-resourced. Now, let me normalize this for you here, right? Before you go off into some space of, oh no, I got to fix myself again. Right? Because we're not projects that need to be fixed. It's about understanding ourselves. So what I want you to know is, right, for all of my high functioning people out there, right, We don't notice this as often as we maybe should, because we're so used to pushing through, right? We override the hunger, we delay our meals, we rely on caffeine to compensate, and then why emotional steadiness feels so hard. Am I right? Okay, so I want to keep this real simple. And I know I'm going super fast, and we're going to test this this month and see how y'all feel about it. But I really just want this to be supplemental. This is really stuff that we just can't go into depth in our Monday morning meeting, just because we would literally have to extend it that much longer. So I'm kind of going fast, but you get to sit with this video, you get to push pause, rewind, whatever you need, right? So let's keep this super simple. Your brain uses glucose as fuel. When that fuel is unpredictable, your brain is going to prioritize survival, not reflection, patience, or thoughtful response. When blood sugar dips, the body releases stress hormones to compensate for that. Now, those hormones, they don't care whether the threat is real or internal. They just create urgency. Right? This is your physical body talking to you. Urgency feels like racing thoughts, emotional reactivity, impulsive responses, difficulty pausing. So if you're trying to notice your patterns, slow your responses. Practice emotional precision. But your energy is erratic. And that's not a mindset issue. It's a support issue. Okay, so this is important. We're not adding food rules. We're not creating a new discipline project. We're simplifying. Okay, so here are 3 supportive principles. Now, okay, these aren't instructions. These are just supportive principles. So number 1, don't skip fuel early in the day. Skipping fuel increases stress hormones before you even realize it. Stability improves when your body doesn't have to ask loudly for energy, right? Like, don't wait for the big grumble. Don't think, oh, I can't eat till noon, right? So don't skip fuel early in the day. Number 2, I want you to pair energy with grounding. When fuel, right, whatever it is we're going to put in our body, is paired with protein or fat, energy becomes more predictable. And predictability is what our nervous systems are going to respond to. Okay, so number 2 is pair energy with grounding. And number 3 is reduce extreme gaps. Long stretches without nourishment often correlate with emotional volatility later. And this isn't about eating more. It's about not letting your system drop into depletion. Okay, so if you think about a car, right? Every time you turn the engine off and on, it takes more gas to restart it than if you just let it sit there and idle. Okay, because it keeps that fluid running, the fuel running through the system. It doesn't have to. Anyway, it's a good little analogy. But, and I'm not saying eat all day long. For some of you, grazing is going to work better. I kind of like the whole grazing thing because then I don't get hungry. I'm not, overeating. But I mean, we all have our own ways, but we have to explore which one gives our body. We can like one thing cognitively, right? Because, eat less, whatever. But our physical body may be trying to tell us that we need something different. Anyway, it's not about eating perfect. Okay, it's about reducing unnecessary swings so that we get that precision, not perfection. And we may need to add, edit, delete, change, shift, morph things along the way. Okay, so when your energy is more predictable, some real subtle things are going to start happening. Your reactions are going to soften. Your ability to pause is going to lengthen, and your recovery is going to improve. And that will be your emotional precision. Okay. You're not going to become more emotionally skilled by trying harder, right? You're going to become more emotionally skilled when your system is supported enough to practice. Does that make sense? Right? Yeah, because you're not going to, suddenly get, better because you're eating better, but because you're eating the way that your body needs you to be fueled enough to have cognitive clarity, then you're going to be physically supported enough to cognitively, emotionally practice the way you want to see yourself experiencing living without all the ups and downs, right? The irritation, agitation, frustration. So anyway, this week, I want you to just simply notice, right? When does my energy dip? When do my reactions feel sharper? You know what I mean by that, right? Like if, right? And are there patterns, right? Is there a pattern? And I don't want you to be fixing it. I don't want you to judge. I just want you to gather the data. Okay. This week's all about gathering the data. Because this emotional precision is not going to be created in an isolated thing. Okay. It's going to be supported physiologically, emotionally, and relationally. So this week we're not optimizing. We're just looking, to gather the data, start to stabilize, and then that way, right? The body feels supported. The mind becomes more precise, right? And that's how real change begins. Notice I said begins. Anyway, I hope this is a great motivation for you. Again, motivation is spark, momentum is what we're looking for. Okay, I'll see you soon.